Did I lose my glasses? I did. No idea. Hold on. Okay, what my hair is doing, and I don't have my glasses, so I'm not going to be able to see very well, but I'm going to deal with it. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. How are you guys on TikTok? All right. Welcome, everyone on Instagram. If you can hear me and see me all right, please give me a thumbs up, and welcome everyone on YouTube. Same thing there. If you can hear me and see me all right, please give me a thumbs up. I'm a little blind tonight. Bear with me. I don't have my glasses. I do want to give a quick shout out to my YouTube members and mention a couple different things that are coming up, a couple quick advertisements. But before I get into that, I want to encourage you guys to drop. Welcome, Vanessa, Deanna, Nature Calls You. Good to see you guys. So tonight is my test show on pet readings. If this show gets great engagement from you guys, I will be adding it to my 2026 show lineup. So please do like, drop a comment of any kind, and you're going to drop your $10 donation. And then, hold on, there's something, I have something coming through real quick. Okay. So you're going to drop a $10 donation, and then you are going to give me 3 pieces of information. So that's your pet's name. I know here it says first name. It can be the first name. I've got my Esmeralda Ivy Rivera over here, right? I always give my cats the first, middle, and last name. Whatever. It could be their first name. It could be their nickname. It doesn't matter. Okay. Whatever they typically went by or go by currently is fine. And then you're going to tell me whether this pet is living or deceased. And number 3, you're going to ask your question. So a lot of people who get pet readings are wanting to hear from a deceased pet. And that's one option. So if you don't have any specific question about your pet, you just want a general message, I will go ahead and do that. But a lot of people who book this type of reading are doing so because they have a living pet and they want to know about its emotional state. They want to know if it's having any behavioral issues, why that is. They want to know if the pet is happy living with them. And they typically have health questions, whether it be current or preventative. A lot of people who book pet readings with me are also asking questions about their living pet because they were a rescue or something like that. And so they don't have a lot of past information on this animal, and they don't always understand, okay, why some behaviors are there and some emotional triggers. So literally anything goes. But again, I am going to need those 3 pieces of information from you. Okay, so drop your $10 donation. It's going to be give me their name, tell me if they're living or deceased, and drop your question. Otherwise, it will just be a general message, whatever is coming through for them. All right. I want to say so much gratitude to my YouTube members. I appreciate you guys. You allow me to do these shows multiple times every week. As I'm moving into in 2026, I'm looking to do 2 to 3 shows per week and buy new equipment, my computer, my camera. You know, I wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thank you so much for your continued support. Abby Hicks, Lucy Marsh, Nature Calls You, McKenna, Stella Marie, Yolanda Fisher, Kim Dennison, Denise Bennett, Jayla Hilly, Edgar Velardes, Melissa S., Christine Watts, Miami Heat 305-ish, Angie Johnson, Jill Marie, CJG, Shauna Dempsey, Demetris, Language Through Connection, Deanna Marie, Marie D, Chicken Mama, Tristan Marion, Me Love 716, Andrea M, and Vanessa. And if there's anyone new that I didn't have time to add on to this list, I will catch you next time, and I appreciate you as well. Now, if you want to become a YouTube member, you can go onto my YouTube channel at Ask Ivy the Medium. Yes, I recently changed the name. It is legitimate. And you hit the join button. It'll show you the 3 different tiers of membership options. My members are getting things like a monthly horoscope, a monthly email reading, which pays for the entire subscription itself, a monthly mini class, weekly spirit messages, an Ask Ivy exclusive show where you get my undivided attention here and you get readings that way. Okay, all kinds of fun stuff. So check it out. Couple quick announcements while we let everybody tune in and drop their questions here. Haunted Sleepover Experience is here at the 1882 Victorian Funeral Home. Book your group now, up to 25 of your friends. You can come here and sleep. We are on the Haunted History Trail of New York State, and you can book your ghost hunt also. A lot of teams have been reaching out and asking if they could come and film here for their YouTube channels. We can negotiate all of that. But, you know, definitely we are starting to book up pretty tight for the winter months. So go ahead, get your reservation in now. And if you're not into the paranormal aspect of it, but you love the architecture, the history, you can go ahead and book a historical tour. We are on the historical trail of Chautauqua County as well. So this is a beautiful property, truly. All right, we also have coming up my raffle. Win a 100% free seat to the Psychic Mediumship course, $2,800 value. Tickets are on sale now. For $5, you get 1 ticket. For $20, you get 5 tickets. The winner is going to be drawn January 14th. Okay, and to book any of this stuff I'm talking about, or to get tickets or to register for the classes, this is all up on my website. Go to ivyriverapsychicmedium.com. Okay, we also have coming up the Psychic Mediumship course beginning February 3rd. This is limited seating. It is 28 weeks. You can attend in person, online, and or through video download, which is what most people have to do. It's adult learning. So some weeks maybe you can't be here for online, so you just get the video download that week. So go ahead, get yourselves registered for that. What else do we have coming up? Yay! So I did a test show and you guys blew it out of the water. It was called What Blessings Are Coming Your Way. If you missed it, you can go back and watch the replay here on YouTube. But this was such a hit. I not only decided to add it to the 2026 show lineup, I decided to add it on my website as a service. So anytime you need to pick me up, you want to give it as a gift to boost someone else's spirit, you can now buy this reading and find out what blessings are coming your way. Not only what blessings are coming your way, but when. All right. So it was super fun. Thanks for the support, guys. And that is officially up there on the website as of today. Book your holiday party now, whether it's a corporate event, a business event, you want to do something really great for your employees, your clients, your customers, or even a private family and friends party. You're going to want to go ahead and book those now for the holiday season. And I can come and do a gallery show. I can also do private reads after. That's typically what people want, is 1 hour of gallery for the audience and then private reads afterward for anyone else who wants more or private readings. And if you have a very large group, we can bring in an Ivy League Psychic Fair. So that's certified readers from my Ivy League Psychic Academy, okay, to take care of everyone. So book your party now. Holiday gift certificates are now available for me for readings. I do work internationally. You can also gift a healing to someone, Reiki healings, classes for the Ivy League Psychic Academy, or a reading or healing with one of my certified readers through Ivy's Healing Call Center. We run 7 days a week internationally. Is that everything? No, we got more. Reiki training. Reiki training is now up on the website as of today. I know I announced this a couple days ago and it wasn't up there yet, but we got it up there today. So Reiki training is officially on the website for levels 1, 2, and masters. I always prefer that you got your 1, 2 with me. If you want to come in for the masters, but I don't necessarily require it. Okay, so I don't think it's a deal breaker. I know for a lot of trainers it is, and they would not allow you to do that. But I'm a little flexible on that as long as you know your stuff. Okay, then I'm confident you can go forward with your masters. So don't be shy. Okay, if you know nothing about it, you don't have to. You'd be registering for level 1, 2, and that is all. Can you put that back up, Diana? Because I didn't actually say the date, nor do I remember it. I don't remember my own name at this point in the year. Okay, thank you. So this is going to be March 14th from 3 to 9 p.m. Eastern. A lot of people were like, well, doesn't it take a whole weekend? I mean, it really shouldn't. If people are giving you a Reiki training, I mean, I'm not going to badmouth anyone, but I've seen it done. I dealt with it before. If you're spending an entire weekend learning Reiki, I don't know what they're up to, but it's really not all that complicated. Okay. Is it 5-6 hours? Yeah. Can we get it done in one day? Yes, if we're not pussyfooting around with large breaks and lunches and, you know what I mean, deep meditations you don't need and all kinds of, you know, cha-cha that's not necessary for you to practice. I give you the good stuff. You're ready to go. And then you go ahead. You can take it out onto the streets, practice for a few months, and then whenever you feel you're ready to come back for your masters, you could do that. Okay, so yeah, registration is now open. It is limited seating. Also, if you don't want to wait until March, it's already up on the website as a video download. Okay, you shouldn't be paying an arm and a leg either. I see people paying a ridiculous amount for Reiki, and what takes a whole weekend? I mean, I think it's like $350. $350 is my fee, ballpark. And I think the video download is less. Okay. My goal is to get you trained and to get you out there healing people. Okay. We are in desperate need. I'm not going to drag it out. I think that's everything I really wanted to mention. Okay. This is so exciting. Get my intro going. Doing this for the first time, so bear with me. Diana, my beautiful producer, is also doing this for the first time. Again, this is just a test show. If it gets great interaction from you guys, I will add it to the 2026 lineup, but bear with us as we work out all the kinks. And I forgot to tell you guys too, if you are on Instagram or TikTok, you're going to have to watch in the comment section how to drop your donation. And Diana will be interacting with you there. Okay. If you're on YouTube, you can do your payment, you can drop your question, you can do everything under one umbrella. Welcome everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Arawak, and this is my pet psychic show called Pet Readings. We are testing this out, and if it gets great feedback from you guys, I will go ahead and add it to my 2026 show lineup. So I'm going to need 3 things from you today after you drop your $10 donation. You're going to give me your pet's name. You're going to tell me whether that pet is living or deceased, and you are going to ask your question. This question can be anything, maybe about your current pet's health, maybe about your deceased pet and something you shared together or an incident, or are they okay? Okay, did they make it to the other side? Did they visit you? Anything goes. You may want to know about a current living pet, especially if it was a rescue animal, or it is having health problems, or you want to be preventative about health problems. If your pet is showing signs of discord with humans, other animals, or within the house, we can get to the emotional business that's going on beneath the surface. So really anything goes. Now, if you don't have a question about your living or deceased pet, you could just say, you know, nothing, and I'll know. That's a general message, and I'll just give you whatever is coming through. If you guys want to book a private pet reading for yourself, or for if you want to gift it to someone else who has pets who maybe would really love this, especially around this time of year, you could do that on my website, ivyriverapsychicmedium.com. Just go right on down, scroll down to pet readings. Okay, fun. And for those of you who follow me, you know I recently lost my Jesus, my orange cat, who was with us for many, many years. And so I'm going to try to keep my emotion out of it today. But he has been popping up on my phone backdrop a lot. So I'm really feeling him around today. And I don't know, maybe you guys will see him. He used to play when I would do live shows in the background here with Ezzy. So keep your eyes open. All right, we are going to start with, it looks like CJG. CJG says, if I can ask a question, it's about my dog, Zoe. Zoe came into my life when I found her running down the street on January 1st of 2021. 1121. Interesting. At 4 a.m. Could you tell me about her life prior to me being her owner? Okay. The first thing I'm noticing about this, let me just point out a little numerology. And if you needed proof that you are a numerology person, that numbers follow you and are giving you direction, this is it. All right. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. I love you guys. So 1-1, okay, January 1st. 1-1 is, you could say, like 11-11, make a wish, or big prosperity, big opportunities. The fact that you've got a 2-1, so it ends up being 2021. 1-1-2-1. 2 is about a pairing. 2 is about soulmates. 2 is coming together to work with another soul in a significant way. And soulmates don't have to be romantic partners. Okay. They're often a dog or a cat or a sibling or a friend. So that is amazing. The fact that it happened at 4 a.m. is major change in one area of your life, being supported by your angels, your guides, your ancestors, and your loved ones. I mean, that's remarkable. This was literally written in the stars for you, written in the numbers for you, for both of you. So your question is, what was going on with Zoe before you became her owner? You know, I just feel very sloppy. I feel like her caretakers were very sloppy. They may have been young, which doesn't necessarily mean that they were young in age, but they were very immature. They don't seem to be interested in her very much. I do wonder if there was some breeding going on at some point. So she may have some purebred, you know, traits that people, I'm not saying they were necessarily breeding her, but there's breeding going on within like the family that owned her. There are a lot of people going in and out of the house as well that she wasn't really comfortable with. So they may have had a lot of like friends or cousins or just, you know, family coming in and out. It was very inconsistent what went on in that house. I see doors being left open and gates being left open, and her even getting out through gates, but possibly climbing deliberately under gates. It's almost like they wanted her gone. It really is too sloppy to imagine. There's a sense of them using her, and a lot of people do this with their animals. Where they use their animals to make themselves feel better for their own entertainment, you know, or again, when we're talking about breeding, possibly, you know, for money. So it also feels like to keep a kid quiet. She may have been there as almost like a toy, you know, to keep a kid quiet. So a couple different things going on with that, that feel neglectful, to say the least. I think there was also some level of abuse going on there, because I see a lot of yelling and her recoiling. A lot of pets get used to the volume. They get used to people yelling, but because there was often fighting, maybe even physical, between a male and a female, sometimes that yelling or loud talking became actual screaming and shouting and, you know, physical abuse between them, certainly verbal abuse. And so anytime maybe she hears something that's like really high pitched, or like a low man's voice, or something that seems like aggressive yelling, you know, some people just talk loud. I'm one of them. You know, we got Italians do it, Puerto Ricans do it. You know, some of us are just loud. There's a big difference between being loud and being aggressive. When she hears that aggression, she may take it as a trigger. Okay, so there's also that. She's just so grateful to have you. I feel like she's forgotten about her past life. It's a million miles behind her. It's nowhere she would go back to. I feel like she actually left and intended to find you. Okay, it's like, I will rest when I find her. I will rest when I find CJG. Beautiful. This is amazing. That numerology is blowing my mind. We are going to move on. Hello, Ezzy. What's going on, Mama? You want a message, Mama? Anne Marie Delora wants to know about my dog, Ollie. Okay, looking for any health issues he may be having or any messages for me. Okay, what does Ollie want to tell Anne Marie, and or are there any health issues? I don't want to sugarcoat. I do feel like you need to watch his teeth, and I'm getting mostly like right back here. So hello, Ezzy, say hi to everybody. Okay, we're not going to step on the computer though. Nope, we're not stepping on the computer tonight. So, you know, we do want to watch the dental stuff, and, you know, same thing with pets. We have to watch for, as we would with ourselves, as we have like decay, it can affect the heart and a bunch of other things, really. So it becomes a systemic issue. So I would keep an eye on especially the back teeth. It almost feels like anything past the incisors. Now I feel mostly the upper right side, but it could be in the far back lower as well. And it could end up being both sides. This feels somewhat preventative. So, you know, we can work on that. Chewing on things that are like, I don't know if it's like half bark, half beef, half mint. You know, but it feels like some type of, it would almost be the equivalent of dental floss, and tartar removal. And I also feel like, you know, one of the things he really likes to do is have his downtime. It's like, I want my downtime with you. So maybe when you sit down and you're watching TV, or there's music on in the background, there's some kind of background noise. Can't tell if this is coming from like your phone or a computer. I thought it was coming from more like a television or radio. But you may have, especially in the evening, like time when you just like to sit. I see you kind of curling up. I'm assuming you're on a sofa, but this could also be done on a bed or cushiony area where I feel, you know, he likes to be with you. This is his favorite thing in the world. And I think you know that, but I don't think you understand how this brings healing, you know, to his heart, to his soul, to him physically, and even rejuvenates his energy. He really also likes his personal space. So if at one point there were other pets, there still currently are maybe, I really feel like he needs his personal space. Now, not from you, because he will sit right on you. It's like, can I get right up on her legs and can I spend downtime with her? But when there are others around, he doesn't care for that. And when there are other animals around, you know, I don't care for that a ton. Especially when it comes to me sitting down, lying down, or my things, right? My toys, my bed, my whatever, my treats. This one needs a lot of personal space. Okay. Very cute. Very cute. I think Ezzy's mad at me. All right, let's move on to another one. These two always confuse me. I don't know how you girls are always back to back, because I always get Anne-Marie Delora and then I get Deanna Marie, and I'm like always confusing you two as like the same person. All right, so next one up is Deanna Marie. I would love to hear from one of my dogs in spirit. His name is Doc. Okay, Doc. Okay, Doc comes through a little nuts. Doc comes through as like, you know, playful, kind of pouncing. He may have been a cat in his previous life, like before he came as a dog. So he's a little like cat tendencies. So he may sort of like wait and watch and get down and then pounce. There's a real playful burst of energy, and then it's like, okay, Doc's done. Like Doc is laying here and is like kaput and is ready to sleep. So there's sort of bursts of extreme energy coming out of him. I feel when he comes in to visit, you may notice that. So there's a lot of attempt to get up on the bed. Now, I feel this is how he's showing it to me. Okay, take it out, resonates. Maybe he's switching sides. But if you were in your bed and you were a little bit more to the left, okay, or like in the middle and slightly to the left, I feel him trying to come onto the bed from the lower right angle and then just like lay on you, lay on your feet, lay on your legs. And sometimes you may feel him in the bed coming up closer, especially if you face out when you're sleeping. He may be laying almost like on your back. Now, I feel what he's trying to do here is get into your dreams. So there's talk of 5 dreams. You should have seen him in 5 dreams by now. These are brief encounters. So thank you for the hearts on TikTok. These are brief encounters. So when we see a pet, typically, and this is often disappointing, or we could overlook it, or we could feel like it left us longing for more. But even when we see humans in an actual visit dream after, it can take on this tone where, we see them cross our path. We see them go through another room. We see them pass by just enough that we can sort of say hello to each other, but we don't always get to pet them. We don't always get to spend a substantial amount of time with them. And so the exchange can feel very short. But he says he's come through 5 different times. I would watch for more of that. Also, if you're having any issues with your feet or your ankles, your legs in general, this could also be circulation, and I can't prescribe a diagnosis. I feel like he's trying to lay on those parts of your body, and he loves you very much. I feel like you gave him an amazing life. He had a lot of fun. He had a good time, and he was very loved and didn't forget it. Stella Marie J8J, I can't really see very well today. Stella Marie says that this is for Macy, who is living. Why does she dislike Daisy? Okay, Macy dislikes Daisy, who's also living. Why does she dislike her so much, and how can I help? Okay. I feel bad for Daisy a little bit here because she really didn't do anything. I actually feel like she's watching her P's and Q's. I think that's how they say it, right? It's like, I feel like she's actually kind of alert to this level of dislike. Macy is kind of an old soul, and an old crotchety one at that. Macy would prefer to be alone. Macy is the kind of pet who can get along with other pets, but would prefer her own space. And so this can create sometimes upset stomach. We could see, and I can't prescribe a diagnosis, but we could see whether it's like sour stomach, bathroom problems, like random bouts of diarrhea. Now, I don't know, Daisy sometimes has this also because of the stress. I could be getting this for both of them, but it's basically a situation where Macy feels like she needs to, bark and bite at Daisy to make very clear that she doesn't want her around. She doesn't want her coming into her personal space. And I think one of the things that could help, if you haven't already done this, is dividing out food. So it's like they don't eat together. I feel like they don't eat together. They don't sleep together. They have their own beds. I feel like everything's separate. Everything's separate. We just need to honor that. We need to also, I think, give, and I know this is more of a reading you wanted for Macy, but I think Daisy may need extra attention. So that she's never inclined, to go to Macy for it, for sure not, but also kind of feel that rejection in her heart. It's like that level of rejection can sometimes carry with us, even if everyone else is giving us love. So Daisy may need a little extra attention. This is the equivalent of having, multiple children and having one maybe with like a disability, and or one with a behavioral issue or something like that, and all the attention goes on to one, and so others can feel neglected. I think that the other thing with Macy is that she doesn't really, I think she doesn't respond well to being yelled at. So if you guys, the whole family, I want to say, were to maybe snap at her for being that way, or say that she's like a bad girl, or call her names in any way, or be like, Macy's a problem again, like Macy's got to be Macy today, Macy's Macying. It's like, everyone, get ready for the drama. it's like we want to really minimize that as much as possible because her feelings are valid and she is in a powerless situation. So she is really at the mercy of whatever you guys can do for her. I would say the best thing here is separate everything. Give Daisy extra attention and don't let Macy know that you disapprove of her behavior as much as you can within reason. All right, we're going to move on to Maggie Askerberg. Maggie has a question about Sammy. Can you ask Sammy how she is feeling physically? She is living. Okay, how she's feeling physically? You know, I feel like something's going on in my jaw, like a tight jaw. I feel like a crick in the neck. Sammy, I had a hilarious meme that I ran today. I thought it was hilarious. A bunch of other people did too. So I know I'm not the only one, but it was on like when you sleep slightly different than what you normally do and you're over 40 years old, you know, and you wake up in the morning and it looked like this guy got hit by a truck and he had like one of those cow neck things on, you know, and like a neck brace, and he was all dirty, and you know, it was just like in agony. I think that when she sleeps funny, and this could be her growing up, you know, her getting older, she can sometimes physically be affected like humans are in the upper back, the shoulders, the neck, up into the head. This can cause like headaches or dull pain in that way as well. And, you know, sometimes when we're having neck issues, we also have jaw issues like grinding of the teeth and things like this. So there's some of that going on. Now, again, I can't prescribe or diagnose, but some of the other stuff I'm getting here is some dysregulated, it feels like digestion and or the organs, the filtration systems could be malfunctioning a bit, sometimes blocked and clogged, sometimes working okay, but not up to the speed that they need to. So we could have some of that. I would also watch with her, I'm hearing ears. I heard ear mites, but what I saw was a potential ear infection. So watch for sensitive ears. And the feet, the paws, the ankles. Okay, so the joints, and sometimes when we see this in the joints, in the paws, we could also see it in the hips or one hip, in particular, the right hip. But that's not a given. Some of this is preventative. Okay, and so we just want to be mindful about that. I feel like she's pretty chill about everything, though. You know, she has a way of just when she's not feeling well, she just sort of lays there. She's real human-y eyes, you know, and I just see her sort of like looking up and like almost like asking for help, but also just being like, I got it. I just need to lay here for a little while. All right, thank you. We're going to move on to another one. This is from Abby Hicks, and this is for Bear, who is living. Okay, Bear. Why he never leaves my side? Did I know him before? All right, so Abby for Bear. Did you know him before? Well, for sure. I think you guys have two different past lives together. I do see one where you look native and you are in like the mountains. I wonder if you were actually my tribe, Taino, Arawak. My grandfather would tell me stories about the natives and how he grew up in the mountains. He would hide in the mountains. The natives hid in the mountains for survival, even generations later. There's something about you being in the mountains, and I want to say Bear coming, like a dog or like a wolf type, right? To protect you, to bring you things, to travel with you. It's like he's a pet. Okay, even then. So there is a relationship that goes way back. There's also this sense of duty to you where, you know, he thinks he has to make sure you're safe and protected, but it's also like, what do you need? And what should I bring for you? You know, how can I help you emotionally? If you are going through a period of stress at all, mental, emotional, physical, financial, okay? This dog will be up on you until he feels he has found some type of a solution that you can utilize. It's like, what can I give her? Let me keep trying things, okay, until I find what works. And the reality is there often isn't anything that they can do, okay? They're not people, so they can't finagle the things that we need. But, you know, he doesn't know that. He doesn't think of it that way. He is very confident that he can energetically get you what you need. And so again, there's that sense of duty. I also feel like he doesn't like certain people being near you. And so if you're going through any type of difficulty with someone, if somebody is stressing you out, whether this is on the phone, on the computer, in physical, actual contact in the house, if somebody's stressing you out, he's going to get even more clingy with you and try to come between you and that person to protect you. I also feel like the heart, now I can't prescribe a diagnosis, but if you've been dealing with any type of anxiety, these may be attempts at helping you to calm down. One of the things, and this is just a general message for everyone, but certainly we see Bear doing this. Bear is what I would call an empathic pup. And when we have an empathic animal, that means that they naturally have come here to Earth to work with empathic people. I call it the triad. So in the universe, you have angels at the top. Angels are the healing entities of the universe. Then you have empathic human beings, and empathic human beings on the Earth plane are going to work hand in hand with empathic animals, or in this case, an empathic pup. And what the animal does is it finds the person when the person needs it. Not typically the other way around. So we tend to think that we're helping out a stray cat that, you know, landed in our driveway, or a dog that, you know, crossed our path in a freak situation or whatever. And we think we're helping that animal. And yeah, to a degree that's true. But really the animal came and found you when you were in a period where you needed to heal. And again, if you're an empathic person, what they're going to do for you regularly is help you cycle that energy through. So emotional, mental, physical, right? Energetic. They will even at times pull disease out of your body into theirs and then excrete it. Now, they don't always excrete it. Sometimes they've just absorbed it. This is why it's important to always take your animals out for really long walks. Let them play in nature as much as you possibly can. Try not to keep them trapped inside a lot, you know, because that's what they do. They're absorbing, you know, the pain, the need. But, you know, he's just a little, he's on call. Yeah, you guys have a work contract. Super cute. All right, we're going to move on to Lauren Askerberg. Pet name is Emma. And Emma is deceased. Okay, so any messages from Emma? Okay, Emma for Lauren. Emma for Lauren. I feel like this broke your heart. I feel like Emma's passing broke your heart. So, you know, the first thing that she's saying is that she may have slowed down. She seems really cool, really calm, really collected, you know, just sort of like an old soul. I'm okay with things. You know, she's like, I'm okay with things. But it was you that really seemed to have this broken heart and somewhat of a frantic energy about her passing. It may have been really hard to go into her passing, of course, but then even afterward, it's almost like, you know, it took a long time for you to evolve beyond it, where it wasn't interrupting you kind of all day, every day. And I feel that she comes around ballpark 3 times a week, sometimes even on a daily basis. If you're going through something, she called it a transition. So if you're going through some type of change or transition, which you may not always adjust very well to, she has a way of coming in extra time. But it's just walking through the house, really. It's just jumping up on bed with you when you're sleeping. It's make sure that you're resting. That, you know, you see her in your dream, knowing that she's there to support you, just a little something uplifting. She does send you songs as well, songs popping in your head, songs popping on the radio. Pay attention to lyrics on songs that come through just when you needed to hear them. And birds, winged animals. And I have her trying to, I don't know if these birds are hitting the window or if they're hitting the door, you know, or the glass door, or if they're just coming awfully close to like the car. But I feel birds almost coming at you. So be watching in those as well. But she loves you very much. And I feel you gave her an amazing life. You gave her a full life. She had really whatever she wanted. You know, this is a very spoiled girl. Okay, thank you. We're going to move on to another one. Oh, also, for anyone tuning in late, this is my test show for pet readings. And if this show gets a great response from you guys, it will be added to my 2026 show lineup. So you're going to drop a $10 donation. You're going to drop the name, the question about your pet, and whether it's living or deceased, unless you just want a general message. If you want to book this privately or gift it to someone else who needs it, it's up on my website under pet readings. So you can go to ivyriverapsychicmedium.com. Could I ask everyone at this time to please give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment of any kind. If you guys could actually, everyone, I need to do a little vote. If you could drop a comment letting me know what day of the week, I always do shows at 9 p.m. Eastern. That'll stay the same. But what day or days of the week would you like to see me do shows in 2026? Okay, and please do share this and subscribe. All right, let's get on to another one. We have another one. These are unlimited, okay? So if you guys already asked one, you can ask more. Stella Marie. Oh, okay. Stella Marie said, thank you. Should have said that they are cats. We have to keep them completely separated. Oh, so they are separated. I don't remember which. You had Macy who dislikes Daisy. Okay, gotcha. Daisy is so sweet. Yeah, she is. I will give her even more love. Macy is an old lady, and we will watch our words. Yeah, I mean, she can even hear your thoughts. It's more of an energy. It's a vibration of like, you know, but I guess that's all you can really do. I mean, as long as everything is separated, you know, it would be nice if they could learn in time. A lot of people think in time animals will come together, but they don't always. You know, and it's not that you should maybe stop trying or allowing for it, but things still need to be separate. You know, it's no different than with the litter boxes. You know, if you have one cat, it's supposed to be, I think, you know, you can get away with one, maybe 2 litter boxes, but for every extra cat you have, you're supposed to have another whole litter box. So the option there for everything to be separate will always be separate. It's an option, you know. Cats are funny. You never know what you're going to get. All right, we are going to move on to another one, or this is just Abby. This is another testimonial here. Abby Hicks says, oh, thank you. Bear and I live in the Rocky Mountains now. Get out of here. You described him so well. Hug and kiss. That's nuts that you are having another life with him in the mountains. This is like, you can't make stuff like this up, because I'm telling you, when we look at past lives and we look at the places we've lived, it doesn't have to be the identical same place, but the mountains, okay, living again and again and again in the mountains, and we are reborn with the same spirits, the same souls, right? The same people or pets. It's remarkable. You can't make this stuff up. Thank you for sharing that. Very cool. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. I love you guys. You're awesome. Keep it coming. Sweetie P, 1024, aka Maraid, says, any messages from my cat Thor, who is living, whatever comes through. He seems, I heard complacent. He seems to go from having a little bit of bossy attitude where he may be like, well, I expect this. I expect you to deliver on this. Well, I run this house. I call the shots. He's also, you know, he's very in tune. And then he's like complacent. He's just like a slug. Like you could just kind of poke at him. He wouldn't do anything for hours on end or even days on end. He goes through cycles. You know, he definitely goes through cycles. I think his cycles are based on change and wanting stimulation. So maybe this is like an indoor cat where, you know, normally you let a cat outside and they handle their own stimulation, for example. I mean, Take It Out resonates, but there may be periods of time where he gets a little more, he almost seems bossy or irritated, or he wants to be destructive and knock things over. And he's looking for stimulation. So that may be where you have to get a whole new set of toys. You need to get a different kind of, maybe like spray for his cat scratcher or his climber. You know, some of this, like, I call it weed spray so they can get high, but it's like, you know, catnip mist, or you switch up the catnip from like mist to the herbs, or, you know, it seems like I'm talking about a cat climber, I'm talking about a scratcher, I'm talking about catnip. These are the things that work the best. Maybe even motion toys, like something that hangs, or something that would be like light up and then move, you know, like a bug type toy. That could work, but mostly I just see him looking at them. But looking at them is good enough. So we don't want to dismiss that just because he is laying there like a slug. That may be a good sign, you know. At least he has something interesting to look at. He's sort of observing. I think, though, it's really about your schedule a lot of the time. So one of the things, you know, he wants is you there all the time. And he feels this is a reasonable demand. You know, he feels this is a reasonable order. Like, why am I here? If you're not going to be here all the time, literally, I'm here for you. I don't know, too, if he's gotten into your plants, you stop having certain plants because he like ate them, like big leaves on some things. You make sure you just be careful with that. But it's impossible for you to be there all the time. I would say that anything you can do that creates an environment as though you didn't leave is a good idea. So say you go off for work, or you have to travel that day to go, you know, live your life, maybe leave on some shows that you would normally watch. I have a backup, like telephones, and they'll watch their cat TV and their own shows on that. But like, I'm about to go out to California, and I'm going to have to leave one of the phones running with my shows. Okay, so as he knows, like, Everybody Loves Raymond, The Golden Girls, like whatever stuff I would have running in the background, I'm going to have to keep that charged and going. You could also do it with music, like classical, I think he enjoys. And I feel like anything that's, I'm hearing zoomy, you know, anything that sounds kind of fun, you know, anything that's sort of an engaging sound, a funny sound of music or background shows or things like this. Just keep it light, you know, keep it enjoyable. But I don't think that would hurt. And make sure, and I feel like you already do, it seems like you have one light on in the one room where, you know, he mostly is. You have another light on over here, but keep at least one relatively bright light on. It doesn't have to be like an overhead fluorescent, but like a lamp, you know, something bright enough. I think that can help. Start talking to him more telepathically as well. And this is a general message for everyone. You know, the more you talk to your animal just telepathically, the more they talk back, and the more you guys can work together, and you don't have to physically be there, okay, obviously, to do that. So do it, and trust that it's working. Okay, the telepathy could take a little while, but not long, like a matter of weeks or months, if you're doing it every day. Okay, so keep talking that way. We are going to move on to another one, and this is for Claudia Yorif. This is for Sunshine. So just a general message about Sunshine, who is living. Okay, so what is going on with Sunshine? I feel like Sunshine is sometimes like kind of lashing out, you know. So I see almost like a growl or a reaction, or it's like, you know, I want this thing to stop. I want this person to get away. I want this animal to get away, get away. There's, other than that, I feel a real sort of sedated, calm, cool, collected personality going on here. I feel that Sunshine really gets, you know, it's like whatever I want, I basically get. Whatever I want, I can have, or I know how to go about getting it. So whether it's like begging, It's finding the bag of the goods, it's just following you around incessantly and rubbing against your legs. It's like, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, like letting you know, communicating with you telepathically. Okay, so this is a reverse telepathy, where Sunshine's communicating with you and like telling you, like, are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? Sunshine would do great with one of those toys that they have that speaks on behalf of the pet. They learn the buttons and what each button is like a demand for the human, like take me out, get me a treat, open the door, let's go for a walk, whatever it is, play with me, pet me. Oh, mama. I know. And yeah, so I think sometimes there are things going on that cause for that level of irritation. This could be people or situations that are around, including maybe other pets, that seem disrespectful of boundaries, that are not, I want to say, honoring, okay, personal space, and are threatening in some way, energetically, mentally, emotionally. And some of this is about protection with you as well. So, Sunshine can get very clingy during those times when there's the potential for you to be upset. And if you are going through things in your life and holding it in, I see you trying to put on a stoic face, put on your poker face and be like, I'm fine. This is fine. I'm going to get through it. Sunshine's going to get very clingy and or very watchful. So even if not right up on you, but like watching from another room, staring at you a lot, trying to sleep with you, lay with you a lot, that's probably why. Okay. Trying to take that energy out from you. It's very sweet how, animals know to a degree that they can't fully fix it. They can't go to your work. They can't deal with your bank account. They can't deal with your, your lover. They know that. But they are incredibly confident and almost to a point of obsession going to energetically fix whatever they can. Okay. And that's taking and pulling out of you what doesn't belong in there and protecting anything else from going in that could harm you. All right, we're going to move on to Vanessa, 3045. Vanessa says, hi, Ivy. Any messages from my dog, Star, with 2 R's, who is living? Okay, any messages from Star, living? So when I go over here with Star, I'm feeling like, I like to chew on things, especially on the left side of my mouth, like in the back. And this is about being preventative with my teeth. This is making sure that, my teeth are being cleaned and well cared for. There's a desire to rip and shred things as well. And sometimes dig. It's like, I want to rip, I want to shred, I want to dig more. I'm sure you have a million things that you don't want Star ripping and shredding and digging. Okay, I'm sure. But the more you could offer that, even toys that have like long things hanging off of them, almost looks like octopus legs or a squeaky toy with big legs, or it's floppy or it has strings on it. I mean, just anything I can shred and I can dig. There's a desire here to let you know. I want to say every day, letting you know, meaning you, Vanessa, that you're loved, This is a very simple animal. This is an animal who feels very much like what I define as the perfect religion. A dog sitting in the sun with, it shining on its face and just being peaceful and happy, fluid, tranquil. I think when routine gets mixed up though, it can be a little bit of a demon. It's kind of like, I don't like this. I don't want this. This could be going to the vet, or this could be just the routine switching and I know I'm about to have to do something I don't want to do. Maybe baths. But other than that, I feel like everything's good. If there were some food allergies, I can't prescribe or diagnose, but whether this be like chicken or some kind of turkey or fish or something, if there had been some type of food allergy, maybe in the past you had to watch for, this could have looked like hair loss or scratching or digging or something between my toes or even like in my ears, and like my face itched, my tongue itched. I feel like you got that resolved, and I feel like we're on the right track now. Okay. But the big message here is always, you know, I love you. I love you. I'm here to love you. And we're going to move on to Nature Calls You 4645. Any message from our cat, Grace? Okay, so Nature Calls You. And this is for Grace, the living cat. Okay. Grace, what do we get from Grace? Grace seems to, I'm seeing the cat from Cat's Eye. This was a movie in the 80s. Drew Barrymore, I think it was actually like the second movie she ever did after Firestarter. She was just a little kid. Anyways, Cat's Eye was this movie that was like an accumulation of short stories, all of them kind of scary, more sci-fi or psychological thriller. And there's a cat in the one that I'm seeing who was getting electrocuted. It was actually terrible, traumatizing. Oh my God, Mama, you okay? But I see the cat like jumping and jumping from the sparks. But this cat was also taken off the streets and managed to escape and ended up like the one theme of every story that was shown in this movie was, you know, the one progressive theme throughout was this cat. This cat went from storyline to storyline and held the whole thing together. And that is symbolic of a couple different things here. You have been with Grace in previous lives. You will be with Grace in the future, possibly as a dog, though, maybe a bird. And so there's past life history. And we see an ability to get out of anything. Okay, so Grace can get out of anything. Grace can pull anything off. Grace has 9 lives. But I see this electric kind of crazy behavior. So sometimes she may go a little nuts and she may look almost like she's being electrocuted, or, you know, she's electrified. And I think what this really, you know, is for her is just a need to, it's almost like get it out. If we could have more carpet on the walls. I mean, some people do this, you know, I had a place that had this and the cats would just climb the walls and climb the ceiling. But if we could have more like climbers, more carpet on the walls, you know, more places where she can kind of get out, like an animal in the jungle, you know, like a sense of going long distance, going higher, going more fierce. So like she is this inner lion. I think the rest of the time she seems pretty chill, and she has a way of reading everyone's minds. There seems to be a female she focuses on mostly, and then one male. And it's like, I am mind reading. I am paying attention to what they're thinking and feeling. And she knows if treats are coming, she knows ahead of time. She knows if they're stressed or there's a problem going on, or even they're not getting along. And she has a way of coming in and trying to, she sort of evaluates and then comes in and tries to give healing to that situation. I also feel like old soul with her, but, you know, maybe once she's getting, you know, older, I feel like because of this telepathy ability, she would let you know when it's time for her to go. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, but very happy, very spoiled. Vanessa 3045 says, oh yes, Star had loves to dig and tear things apart and has even my work papers. Yeah, there's a desire to shred paper. Ezzy does that. I never had a cat do that, but I'll say she ate my homework. If I leave things up here that are important, good luck. She'll just shred and chew and rip. And you can give them a million things that they can legally do that on, and it seems to like never be enough. I don't know. That's funny. All right, let's move on to Edgar. Okay, Edgar says, does my dog Paco have any messages for me? Not sure if he's still alive. He got lost years ago and we never saw him again. Okay, Paco, messages from Paco. Ezzy, please. Just gonna try to pull this tablecloth down again. When I go over here with him, I do feel like, you know, he has passed. I think that he may have done well for a while. He seems to get picked up by a family. Then he seems to get switched out or traded off or picked up, possibly by another family. But I do feel like he has passed. And I feel like this really broke your heart. You know, he's still connected to you. He is still visiting. So he comes through the house, the apartment, spending some time with you, especially when like, and he may have always been like outside the bathroom doors, where you're taking a shower, you're doing your business, whatever you're doing in the bathroom. You know, he tends to be outside the bathroom door, scratching, waiting for you, trying to sit with you when you're having downtime. Also, if you're ever struggling to speak, there's talk of a closed throat chakra. If you're ever having trouble telling people what you need, speaking your truth, maybe you don't want to ask for help. You don't want to ask for love. He is there. Okay. He is there in spirit giving this to you. And I feel like when he disappeared, you know, it really bothered you the most. So everyone else in the family may have been like, I don't know, you know, stuff happens. But I feel like it really weighed heavy, you know, on your heart. And just know he loves you. You guys seem to have a real deep connection. There is some past life connection here. And I do think you'll be meeting up again, possibly even in this life. I'm not, you know, trying to give like psychic advice tonight per se, but if in the next 2 to 3 years, you are really feeling like you're ready to bring in another pet, it may not be the best time for you because you don't seem very available. But after that, he may be presenting again in your life after that. Okay, so probably after the 3rd year. Let me turn on her baby for her. Tanya Rivera, any messages from your dog Timber, who is deceased? Okay, Timber, deceased. Hold on. Do you want him to baby? Okay. Get him out. All right, Timber, deceased for Tanya. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. When I go over here with Timber, he seems like an old man. You know, he seems like a wise old man. It's like, I know things. No one's going to tell me anything different. I have you trying to tell him no or tell him how it's going to be, and him just kind of putting his head down and looking up at you or staring at you or acting like, I think he has selective hearing, pretending he can't hear you or he doesn't understand. It's basically like, I'm not complying with that. There's a lot of humor here in the, I want to say verbalization, okay, of rules and schedules and what's going to occur today or how this situation is going to play out. And I think that he was defiant in a lot of ways, sneaky, stubborn, a little stubborn, but he's so sweet. And he has such a great way of, you know, being defiant because of that sweetness that makes it almost like playful and hilarious. And like he should have been a TikTok. I think that, you know, where he is now, it's coming in and out. So I have him going in and out. Now, I don't know. He may have also done this a lot, like in the yard. Say I have to fix TikTok now. I'm all over the place. I'm going to have to yell while I do this. I have to do this puzzle thing on here. He may have done this in the yard as well. I'm going in, I'm going out. I'm going in, I'm going out. There's almost this sense of, never being satisfied. And it's not like he's going to find anything else in the yard, where he's been a million times, but it's just a change of energy. It's just keeping things fluid. It's just a change of scenery. Again, animals absorb a lot. And so the family may have been going through a lot, or you may have been going through a lot. And so it's like, I'm going to be inside. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to be inside. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go from this seat to this seat. I'm going to go from this, dish over here to this couch, and then back to the dish, and then back to there's like a lot of back and forth. And I feel like some of this is also, though, like personality. So he seems to be doing the same thing in spirit, whereas a lot of these other animals are coming through today and they're like, yeah, I visit in dreams. You'll see me cross through. I'm up on the bed with you. He's not really that as much as it is like, I'm coming in the house, anywhere you have memorabilia of his, and whatever is by that front door. I don't know if this is another animal's bed or other animals, often by that one door. But I see him being over there. You would see him in photographs as orbs. And then he walks through the house. He walks through the kitchen. You can hear him. You can feel him. He does a check on the house, and he does check on you, especially when you're sleeping. But I don't feel like he stays very long. And then it's like he's gone and he comes back again. I also feel him in the car with you, riding shotgun. Okay, so not only can you feel him in the car, but you may start to notice bigger birds during that time, like hawks, eagles, vultures, turkey vultures or something they're called. I don't know my birds really, but like bigger birds. And then the radio. He sends you songs also. And I feel like listen for an Elvis song, okay, coming on. But this is this is like today or tomorrow. Listen for an Elvis song. Is there a dog Elvis song? I'm not sure. But anyways, a ton of love to you. Okay, another baby who I feel was very spoiled. And I feel like his passing was hard. I did wonder if you had to put him down. Okay, and that may have been hard. Okay, and next one up is Lauren Askerberg. This is for Kylie. Nope, this one's going to have to go back. I don't have living or deceased. I don't have a question. I don't have anything to go with this. So we have another one coming in. Are we doing last call? Let me know. So Diana, you're going to have to take that one back. Again, if you guys are tuning in late, we are doing a pet reading show where you are going to drop the name of the pet, whether they're living or deceased, and whatever question you have about that pet. And if you want to do this privately, you can go onto my website, ivyriverapsychicmedium.com, and you can click on pet reading for yourself or gift it to another person. I also forgot to announce while you look for this information, Diana, because this one isn't ready. I don't know if you heard me or not, but that one's going to have to come down. It's not ready yet. But I also forgot to announce to you guys that if you tuned in for the test show on past lives, that also went amazingly well. You guys blew it out of the water, and I have decided to add that one to the 2026 lineup for sure. And that is always available up on my website. You can always get a past life reading where you can find out more about like you and your pet, who were we, you and a lover, anything going on in your life currently, how it's connected to a past life. So they do really affect us a lot. Okay, do we have another one you just want to pop up while you figure that out, Diana? Or are we at last call? I think we may be at last call. So if you guys were debating on dropping a question, now would be the time. So, okay, so we're going to skip this one until it's done properly. And we are going to move on to Claudia in the meantime. Claudia wants a message from Daisy, okay, who is passed. Okay, Daisy, who is passed for Claudia. Now, Daisy comes through here as both a baby and very mature, which is a funny combo. This, you know, Daisy almost reminds me a little bit of like Gemini energy, where they could seem very like flighty or immature or a little scattered or all over the place, but they're actually very much in charge. They are very serious and focused, you know, when they want to be. Daisy is very focused on you, Claudia. Okay, so it's like I can be all over the place when I'm free to be all over the place, but also when you need something, when you need healing, when you need a sense of clarity or your chakras are getting blocked, Daisy has a way of coming in and sleeping quite literally. And you may feel this. I mean, I don't know how you wouldn't feel this, but quite literally, I have Daisy sleeping on like your forehead, which is your third eye, and your crown chakra. So if you ever feel like you're detached from yourself, the universe, the spirit world, you just feel clogged up. You know, she has a way of laying on this part of your body and bringing healing there. And I also feel her laying on your heart at different times. So, you know, if you're resting, if you're napping, if you're sleeping at night, you're going to notice this the most. I do feel her following you around and watching you, especially lately if you've changed your diet. So it's almost like, I don't know, let's say you're in the kitchen, for example, and you're looking at a lot of vegetables. And you're like, well, what am I going to cook? Or like, I'm tired, or I want to take a shortcut. And then you're saying, I'm not going to take a shortcut. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to do better. You know, I'm planning ahead, for example. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. You know, sometimes you have to plan ahead for things like that to actually happen. But I have her watching you and being proud of you. I also have her watching and seeing if you're going to like drop anything. Maybe she can get at it. But she's watching over at this point your health and wellness, okay, as well as like your energy and the chakras and your emotions and all of this. I do feel like her communication is mostly clairaudience. So don't be surprised if you get a lot of left ear ringing, like a tinnitus, or a feeling of pressure in your ears. And then she puts thoughts in your head. I also feel like she sends you funny things. So it's like funny songs popping in your head or on the radio, funny memes, you know, funny, I don't know, fortune cookies or affirmations or just funny things coming on. And I feel like you see her everywhere. It's like, I see you in this. I see you in this. I see you in these other animals. Like she has a way of popping up and being silly that way as well. But this is an old soul. You know, for all that energy, this is an old soul. This is a serious companion. And this was a beautiful connection, is a beautiful connection, will continue to be. Absolutely. I see you writing about her as well. Writing something about her? You may include her in stories that you tell. A lot of love to you. All right, next one up is Melissa. So Melissa says, for my dog, Puppy, I just want to know any messages from my deceased dog. Okay. Okay. And for Melissa, Puppy. Aw. You know, this is a dog that adored you. This is a dog that admired you. This is a dog that would stare like into your eyes, into your soul, wanting to just spend time with you. This reminds me of a needy little kid who is just happy and everything is right in the world as long as I can be near you, as long as you're giving me attention, as long as we can be together. Okay. Anything you gave this dog was like 100 times sweeter than whatever that thing was. Okay. A treat, a walk, a talk, a pet, a nap, some love. It was like so much better when it came from you. And I think what he's really talking about here is the end as well. Like the end may have been incredibly depressing. I feel a horrible sense of like dread and anxiety surrounding that may have been really hard for you to move on from. And You know, he's hoping that this brings you some peace with that. But it's like, it taught you a lot. It's almost like his passing taught you how to roll the good in with the bad, and what transition from life, not to death, but from life to the afterlife actually looks like, because he does come through so powerfully in his visits. I also feel like you would have had, whether this is like his paws, ashes, his collectibles. I feel like I'm in the living room is slightly to the right, lower. It feels like two different spots. You may have had his things either now, or for a while at least you did. So, you know, he is reminding you that your time together was a lot about lessons, because you also seem very stressed during that time and struggling to deal and process things in your own personal life that you had to. And he was there to help you with lessons, to get comfortable in the discomfort, to identify when something had to be dealt with. And he was like your support animal in that. You know, he kind of reads actually as like a support dog. What do they call them? Therapy dogs. He kind of reads as a bit of a therapy dog. So this is a beautiful relationship. Okay. And it really was his time to go. He loves you very much and is still coming around in that capacity, if I didn't make that clear. Tanya says, thank you, Ivy. We did have to put him down. It was heartbreaking. He was a very sweet boy and sneaky. He would quietly sneak whatever meat we were cooking when we turned our backs. And that is a bold move. Yeah. He had many bold moves up his sleeve and was just always waiting to use the next one, but looked like he had a face of an angel, like a face of a dog who would never do such a thing. It's probably how he got away with a lot of it. That's hilarious. Okay, so we are, okay. Is there a question? Okay, so we have, for Claudia wants a message from Daisy who's deceased. I already did that one. Yeah, I think we got a little out of order. Bear with me, guys. Diana and I are doing the show for the first time, so we got a lot of kinks to work out while we get all of this in order. And she had to go back and get a lot of information today, because I saw that a lot of questions were dropped or names were dropped, but there's kind of no order to things. So just bear with us. All right, we have another one coming in. Oh, from This Is Maraid. Hi again, Ivy. Okay, any messages from my cat? Ahsoka, who is living. Okay, whatever comes through. Okay, so this is different. Hold on. Okay, because, yeah, I think I did. Hopefully I didn't mix your cats up. I don't think so. I'm actually feeling new energy on this. So let's see. Maraid about Ahsoka. Okay, different cat from the one we read a couple minutes ago. So this is living and whatever comes through. Okay, for us, Ahsoka, what is coming through about Ahsoka? Ahsoka looks a little mean, you know. She's kind of looking to start some shit. Yeah, she'd be a great hunter, you know. I pity the squirrel. I pity the mouse, even the rabbit. I think if she could get outside, I think she would be doing some damage, or when she goes outside, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if she's doing some damage, but she seems to be thinking about it more than actually doing it, which tells me this could be an indoor cat. So then now the goal is to beat up the other cat, or to attack you, or to attack your feet, or to attack these toys, or to scratch this thing up and just tear it up and shred it up. There is a desire to pull things out from the wall, or pull things down and out from, you know, this may be a cat where you get one of those scratch pads. Jesus used to do this, and he would tear it off. He would go at this one corner until he tore the whole thing apart. And the rest of it was untouched. The rest of it was useless, but he had broken it. He would actually, and he does go outside. He would climb trees and stuff. Sometimes they just can't get it out of their system. You know, so she wants to like claw and you know, sharpen. It's like whether I'm sharpening my nails, or it's this desire to feel things tearing, and this rush of adrenaline when I can take something down and make it surrender to me. So anything you can give her, or she could just beat the hell out of it, I think is going to be a great idea. You may find that things like, and I think I mentioned this on your other reading, I'm not sure if I did to somebody, but things like, you know, the catnip spray or like something that even kind of calms her down. You know, if she gets into a situation during like the winter months, for example, where, you know, there's not as much to watch outside, or like I'm feeling just a little more stir crazy than ever. And, you know, she's picking up on your energy because when like cabin fever starts to settle in on the humans, it spreads throughout the house, you know, and of course she's empathic, so she's picking up on that. But during that time, you may get her something that's a little more like a sedative that you can spray that chills her out a little bit more. It's like a calming spray or something. And I feel like one of the other things she may like is to sort of lay there and look up at things. It reminds me of one of those baby toys where you can lay the baby on the mat, and the reflectors and the lights and the mobiles hang, you know, and they can just be intrigued by what they're looking at. She likes to be able to lay down, sort of look up at things that intrigue her. So one of the great things you may want to get for her too is, and this could like go on at night, is a reflector that can go out onto the walls and the ceiling, and it can project, like a projector is the word I'm looking for here. And it can project images, you know, like birds or fish, or I don't even know if they make these. I don't know if I'm making this up. This is brilliant. Someone wants to, you know what I mean, take credit for it. I mean, this should be a thing. I know they have them where it's planets and stuff, you know, but anyways, I see her really loving that. She really loves you. She feels like she owns you. She feels like you are hers, and she may be very protective and defensive over you. So if other pets want your attention, it's like, no, 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 that's mine. Okay, that's my human. And I feel like when you're upset, she actually really changes tone quite a lot and morphs into this very loving, supportive, not needy necessarily, but almost overbearing, overgiving, like maternal energy with you, and may sleep right on your head or your neck or your shoulders or your chest, or like right around here, because it seems like when you get upset, you tend to carry it a lot up here. Okay, so she's trying to help you process all of that. She is on top of it, whatever you need. Beautiful. Okay, thank you. We're going to move on to another one for Stella Marie, my dog Sky, who is deceased. Just a general question. Okay, so Sky coming through for Stella Marie. You know, Sky's very chill. There's movie being referenced here called Funny Farm. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was an 80s movie. Getting a lot of movie references with this group of animals tonight. But Funny Farm, Chevy Chase was in it, and it was hilarious. Like, it's definitely in like my top 10. But he got a dog, and he called it Yellow Dog. And like Yellow Dog, they had Yellow Dog because all the other dogs ran away. And Yellow Dog would just lay there, and like one day his tail even started on fire. Like he was laying so close to the fireplace, so like his tail started on fire, and he didn't even like howl or move. Like he'd come stomp it out. Anyways, you know, I'm getting this mix of like Yellow Dog and all the other dogs he had. So I see with Sky this sort of old energy, you know, I'm chill, I'm calm, I'm living life my own way. I don't require much. I'm happy with simplicity. I'm grateful for a warm house and the love I'm getting. I think Sky was also really great at comparing, like understanding, which shows a lot of depth. Understanding that other animals didn't have that he was lucky, or that she was lucky in that, but being grateful, showing a lot of gratitude to you for that. But there is this other side of the personality, and this is a Yellow Dog in that movie also came home one night with a human arm, like the bone of a human arm, like dug in the yard, all of a sudden woke up and he was digging out bodies, right? And couldn't be told no. So there's this flip in personality with Sky, where sometimes it's like, I'm on an adventure, you know, I'm digging, I'm hunting, I'm obsessed with watching this. I'm going to go after this, whether it be birds or people or activity in the neighborhood. It's like, I'm all about this, you know, and I'm locked in. And so it's just funny to watch this dichotomy. Is very sort of bipolar. I feel like when Sky is visiting, that's what you would notice, is a total and complete shift in the energy of the room. And so a visit could also look like watch, because I see cascading lights, cascading white, like sparkling lights, bright lights. These could look like orbs in photographs, but as you're dozing off or waking up, you may notice this in your room. But also out of the corner of your eye, especially if you're ever like watching TV or you're relaxing or you're in the living room or when you're eating. Okay. So it's like, I'm watching TV or I'm just relaxing. I see it over here. I'm eating. We're all sitting here. I see it over here. So Sky comes around quite a lot, actually, and the energy of the room shifts. If you have other pets, they can see. Yeah. Okay. As well. They can see Sky. But a lot of love to you. And I really feel like if this was an animal you had to put down, you had to make some hard decisions with in regards to healthcare. In the end, I feel like you made all the right ones, but you seem very, I'm not sure if it's with this pet and or another pet. It may have been in two different ways, but like, I'm not sure what to do. Like, I'm not sure what to do. And it's like the vets don't seem to be very helpful. And, hopefully, you know, this message brings you some peace with that, because I feel like you made all the right decisions. A lot of love to you. I'm seeing like little heart emojis like coming up for you, you know. Yeah, mama. All right. Thank you, Stella. We're going to move on to Claudia. Okay, Claudia. And this is for Lily, who is passed. Okay, just a general message from Lily. Lily, for Claudia. I feel like when you would have talked a lot, you would have gotten a lot of attention from Lily. Like, Lily is coming over to almost calm you down or to stop you from talking. And I do wonder if when you get overwhelmed or upset, if you have a tendency to kind of run your mouth, or it's sort of like, I'm feeling very frantic, or this can also just be symbolic of like your thoughts. Like, there's just a lot of thinking. There are a lot of words going on here, right? There's a lot of activation, but it seems literal. I mean, it seems verbal. So take it out, resonates. But Lily had a great way of coming over and sort of sitting with you, helping you to process. You know, I think her way of thinking was that she was helping you to figure it out. She was helping you to find a conclusion. As long as she was near you, we're going to figure this out together, you know? And I feel like it helped. I still feel like it helps. So Lily has a way of coming through predominantly when you are going through something, when you are needing answers, you're trying to sort through a lot of information, you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, you're shocked and appalled, you know, well, I never, you know, this thing is now going on. And Lily's like, we got this. We got this. Okay. So there's like a sisterhood going on here. There's a lot of teamwork going on here. This is a soulmate connection. Which means you had South Node connection, meaning past life connection. You have North Node connection, meaning future lives together. You know, Lily may come through as, I don't know, too, if you would fish around that time. But I'm seeing fish, sometimes visiting you as fish. So this could be like a botanical garden type of fish. This could be just fish that are showing up like on your screen. It doesn't have to be, you know, literally that you own them. I know fish are a lot of work. People should never underestimate that. But I do feel an interest in coming back through. I also see puppies, okay, coming through to you. To brighten your day, whether it's like a puppy video, you know, and sometimes bear videos and things. But I do think there's interest in coming back around again. If you were interested, maybe not now, but maybe in about 2 years, there may be a situation where it looks like a cat. I don't know if you're allergic, or somebody's saying we can't because I'm allergic. This looks like a tabby cat to me, and possibly orange. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Mostly, I think she's trying to come through and spend a little more time with you when you're sitting down, when you're resting or relaxing, when you're having a cup of tea, you know, something like this. And mostly when you're alone. And it seems like that's hard to do. Like there always seems to be somebody around or bothering you. But you know, there's a sense of ownership over you. And I would definitely expect to see her in a dream. She's saying 1 to 3. So it could be anywhere. This could be 1 to 3 dreams, but I was going to say between 1 and 3 nights. So watch for her there as well. Remember also, guys, and this is for everyone, when our pets come through in a dream, it is not at all uncommon that we have a sense of longing, that we want more time with them. We wish we had gotten to pet them a little bit more. We wish they had come closer. Why do they seem to be doing their own thing? And you're kind of seeing them from the other room and they're like, hey, and that's it. Like we wonder why. Okay, it feels that way. But that's just how it is. That's the nature of things when they're on the other side. It is a deliberate way for them to come through and say hello, but it often feels very brief. Okay, nonetheless, embrace it, enjoy it, and know they put a lot of work into that. Okay, it's not easy to show up in a dream. All right, so we have another one here from Edgar. Does my deceased cat, Kobe, have any messages for me? Okay, so Kobe is passed. Kobe is really proud of you. This seems like a brotherhood. Kobe was very attached to you, like a kid, okay, like a baby would be. I feel like when you were there, Kobe was happy. When you were gone, Kobe was not happy. There's a desire, you know, when he was here to be together 24/7, and he knew that wasn't possible. But it almost seems like if I can't be with you or if I can't have you, you know, I don't really want to be here. So what that can mean is that Kobe had a strong contract to you, but not like the rest of the family or anyone else involved. Kobe wouldn't be able to like go to another home, you know, and sometimes we feel bad about that kind of thing. You know, it's like, why, when I left this pet, did they not do well? Well, the contract was between you and this cat. Contract isn't between Kobe and every Tom, Dick, and Harry off the street, you know? And so that happens in a lot of situations. But I feel also like he's so proud of you. It's almost like you needed to be set free. And so you needed to go, you needed to do what you needed to do. And I feel like you've made really good use of like your time. I feel like he brought you tremendous healing and support. He may have, you know, been like a big purr. You know, they say that they use on NFL players these purr machines because the frequency, it is so healing, you know. But the same idea, if this cat would have laid on like your stomach or your chest, like anything from here to here, I see this cat trying to lay on you and it's like just purring and purring and purring. This could have also been like a fat lap cat type, you know, like I'm just purring and purring and purring. You're healed, you know, from a day of stress or whatever. It's pretty remarkable, the exchange that you guys had. I feel like you did the same thing for him, but he refers to you as being like a brother. And I do think you guys will be together again. There's definitely a desire to reincarnate here. Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe 5 to 7 years out from now. But right now he's really enjoying his life. He's very busy. He runs a lot. And that may have been something that was a little limited for him, whether it be spatial, health-wise. It just seems limited. Like he couldn't run as fast and as far as he wanted to go. And now he does. And he actually helps a lot of people. He's training as a guide, okay, for others. Yeah. But he's also talking about you see him. Like you see him. And I think you do see him in spirit around the house and whatever, especially around the bedroom, the kitchen, the one couch area. But it's like you see him on the streets. And I think what he's talking about is like in other, you know, cats. It's like another cat that looks exactly like him or staring at you, right? The eyes on another animal is staring at you. He works through other animals in similar ways and just stares, just watches you. Very interesting. Nature Calls You 4645 says, anything Bobby would like us to know about his past or any other messages related to Bobby. Bobby is our living cat. Okay, so from Nature Calls You for Bobby, who is living, okay, and is a cat, about his past or any other messages. Okay, what is Bobby? Bobby, what do you want to say to them? I heard no, not really, nothing. Bobby's cool. Bobby's good. Bobby doesn't care. Just don't take my food. Don't touch my food. Don't come too close to my face. Like, as long as no one's messing with Bobby, Bobby is good. Bobby likes money. I think literally as well, you know, like pennies. I'm seeing pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, tokens, like pushing them around, or anything that looks like a penny or change, and possibly luxurious things. Okay, unless this is literally dollar bills, shredding them, eating them, paper. We may have another paper eater cat. That's a second message on that tonight. So maybe that as well, but I feel like what Bobby really likes is feeling luxurious. Like I am, there's a lot of Egyptian feel here with Bobby. And this could be a past life where, you know, cats were worshipped. They were the highest ranking and they were understood as the protectors. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok, the protectors of, you know, humans and the universe. And they were defenders of the light, and they, killed, you know, evil entities or attacks, whether it be from like elementals, paranormal activity. So if there was a period of time where someone was sick in the house, if somebody went through like illness or a broken bone or some type of lack of mobility with, I'm getting anything from the hips down the legs, mostly just past the knees, there may have been some type of injury or illness going on with someone. You know, Bobby was the defender of the entire house. If you have cats in your house, when you go through an illness, you know, a broken limb, a disease, an episode of depression, a divorce, drama, you know, whatever, you lost your job. I mean, any type of drama. If you have cats in the house should not become a paranormal problem. Unless you have a dud of a cat who doesn't want to do its job. Bobby is not that cat, okay? Bobby is on top of it. It is like, this is what I'm called to do. This is what I'm here for. Bobby is ready, like on call, to handle any paranormal activity that may go on. Any heavy negative energy that builds up from things that the humans in the house are dealing with. Okay. Again, this is what animals are here to do for us, is to help us cleanse and to heal, to transmute. And I feel like he takes his job really seriously. I also feel like when I'm not working, you know, I'm on vacay and just let me lay here. Let me enjoy myself. Treat me like, you know, the luxurious character I am. I deserve luxury. I also see swatting toys. I like to swat things. So anything more you can do with Bobby where it's like I can swat at maybe things that are stationary but hanging. This would be another good one for, I think it was for Maraid's reading. I saw reflectors again. I don't know if this is a real thing, if anyone's invented this. If not, somebody should. But like fish swimming through the walls and the ceiling, projector, you know, or birds or squirrels or animals like that, cat TV, or lasers. Okay. And again, even if it, you know, even if he's not always playing with it, it's like, I want to watch it. I want to look at it. He has a funny way, even with that though. I have him watching a little bit and then being like, yeah, whatever. You know, he's an old soul. He's seen it all. He's been around the block. It's like, I'm here to work. I'm here to protect. And that's kind of it. There may be a female though that he loves very much. He's very attached to a female. And I feel like a younger male. Very cute. Friends. Okay. We are okay. Now we are at last call. So if you have not dropped your donation and your question, do so at this time. And if you prefer to do this privately, it's up on my website, ivyrivera.psychicmedium.com under pet reading. Okay. Now we are going to get on to Lauren. So Lauren has a question about Kylie. Okay, who is living? No question about Kylie, just whatever message comes through. Okay, for Kylie. Kylie living. Kylie, do you want to say anything to Lauren? You know, this looks like a baby. I want to say she's got baby eyes. Baby eyes. And it's like, you know, not putting on an act, but like she really is kind of a baby. She sees herself as needing to be caretake over, you know, I need you to bring me things. I need you to protect me. I need you to take me where I want to go. It's like, can I have this? Will you do this for me? So there's a lot of ask going on here, but it's in such a subtle, like baby eyes, you know, kind of way that you really have to pay attention as a pet owner, because you could miss it. You know, this isn't an animal that's going to like howl and scratch and jump on you and beg and like da 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 da. Like you're not going to get any of that. It's a silent ask. And I think one of the things is that she doesn't feel incredibly secure always in her environment. She may have a lot of triggers and hot spots. Some of it is noise. Some of it is mediumship. This is what, you know, I would call a mediumistic pet for sure, where they see spirits. And a mediumistic pet is no different than a mediumistic person. It gives us anxiety, literal anxiety disorders. Okay. It can cause sometimes even depressive episodes and things like this, but it's mostly just like a nervousness, an awareness that something is there, keeping an eye on what's happening with all the spirit activity, all the energetic activity, all of the activity coming off of the other pets, the humans, the atmosphere, the objects. It's a lot. It's overwhelm. And I think that's what makes her a little bit more seemingly timid, or needy, you know, but again, without asking a ton. It's just waiting and kind of hoping I get the support I want. So one of the great things to do with her is to ask her more questions. You know, I do this with Ezzy. You're supposed to ask your cat every time you talk to your cat, for example, but I think this works on all animals. You know, you're supposed to ask them questions. They actually respond better to that than just making statements about their appearance or whatever, telling them you love them. They don't really care. But if you ask them a question, they feel like you're trying to engage with them. You know, you're not talking at them. So I would ask her more questions and be like, Kylie, do you want this? Do you need this? What do you think of this? You know, carry on actual verbal dialogue, not just like telepathic. This is real dialogue. And I think that, you know, she may really perk up and enjoy what she feels is like a call to come out, you know, a little bit more, to be a little more authentic or use more self-expression. For sure. I see what just looks like a ball or something moving back and forth. I mean, this does not look like a very complex toy, you know, but I do think that she likes things that moves back and forth, a little bit of catch going on here. And that can really tucker her right up. Okay, so that's nice. That doesn't require a ton. And then she can feel very content. So a lot of stimulation. And then, you know, she feels very content, may sleep actually really hard. I have sleeping like a log here. So yeah, I think there's a lot going on there. This is another one. I think that only came up in one other person's reading tonight, I think, about like, you know, being mindful of the paranormal world, the spirit world, the psychic world, right? The energy that comes off of objects and atmospheres and other pets and, you know, people. It's a lot when you have a pet like this. And with them seeing and processing that all the time, it can make it seem often like there's something off about them. Like they're very detached. They're not sharing everything, or they're in a bit of a world of their own. And you're like, are they okay? Yeah, there's just a lot going on. Okay. This would be another one too, to leave like music on when you leave, you know, some nice dim lighting on, you know, because that's when activity increases. All right. And Nature Calls You says, thank you, Ivy. You are welcome. Is it a little orange cat? Aw. You are very welcome. Okay, we are at time. Thank you so much, everyone. Loving the interaction on this show. Let me know if you are watching this once it's published, if this is a show you would like to see me add to the 2026 lineup. And I am going to Cali for a while. I will be there in December when I get back. So for a couple weeks, I won't be doing any shows. I'll be doing reruns. And then when I get back in December and or the beginning of January, we're going to run a few more shows. Okay, and we're going to test those out. And that will be, can we pop them up again? I know we're going to do a rapid fire yes or no show, taking your questions. We're going to do another one exclusively on love and relationships. So you can do it open-ended, or you can ask about a lover or a different type of relationship you have going on. We're going to do another test show on, I don't have the pop-up here. I think we forgot about that, Diana. I know there's going to be, and so that's why I wanted you guys to post what day of the week or days of the week, 9 p.m. Eastern, you would prefer to see these shows run. We're going to be doing another one on, what was it? Coffee with Your Angels. So whatever is the most important healing message for you to hear right now, or you can also ask a question about an area of your life, physically or otherwise, that you need healing in. And there was one other one, but I can't remember what it is. So anyways, stay tuned. Thanks so much, guys. And again, if you need to book a pet reading or you want to gift it to someone else, or you want to get a reading, a healing with me anytime, I do work internationally. It's a super simple self-booking system. Go on to IvyRivera, psychicmedium.com. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Spirit. Have a good night.